episode 2 of the AMS series with Monica. Thank you for liking our previous video. Please do well to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. Alright, so today we're going to jump right into the next question that we have here for us. And this one is very, very special to me because it's from somebody that I know. She sent me this question a few days back. The question is from Miss Iman Beatrice. Cheers to her. Okay, so she said, is it advisable to buy a property without C of O? Is it advisable to buy a property without C of O? So first of all, what is a C of O and where does this come from? Many of you that maybe you have not been into the real estate industry or you've not considered real estate before, you probably will not know what this is. And for seasoned investor, I know that you already know what a C of O is. So a C of O is simply a certificate of occupancy that is always being issued by the government and shows that this property is yours for the next 100 years. That is what a C of O is. And C of O is one of the recognized land titles. A C of O is one of the recognized land titles aside other land titles. We will be treating other type of land titles in next coming videos or in any of our coming series. But for this particular video, our emphasis is on the certificate of occupancy, and I'll just define what that is. So now the question is it advisable to buy a property without the certificate of occupancy, which is usually recognized by the government? And I know that this question is coming from a place of what we have seen. That we see has been happening in Lagos, the government tearing down buildings and all of that. And people are like, I don't want to purchase a government land. So now I want to, while it is advisable to buy a property in the COO, I will still have to back some, but most of the companies we see in River State, their properties are mostly coming with a deed of conveyance. Deed of conveyance like a transfer title. This property ownership has been transferred from the company to you, and it is all sealed in a document called a deed of conveyance. But many people seem not to think that a deed of conveyance is enough to secure their property. This brings me to what we call land transfer, because most of these companies, like I said earlier, they only give you a deed of conveyance and a survey plan. And I will not vouch for all companies. Some of the companies where we consult for, we see that they go the extra mile to chart some of these lands. Yes, they go the extra mile to chart some of their lands. Because you know that by law, you can also do your research on that. By law, all land belongs to the government. Every land by law belongs to the government. But there are cases where the government will relinquish some lands for sale. These properties that are being relinquished by the government are now being handed down to communities, families, and all that. So now you see that the families now, in order for them to, if their property, they have the liberty to sell. So now, when they sell it to companies now, what's given to the company actually transfer of ownership. So the families now have handed down transfer of ownership from them to the company. And the company seals it to the family with a deed of conveyance. And it is the same transfer of ownership that is now handed down from the company to you. And what we see is like a package, because the company now does this for free. You're not charged to pay for extra documentation. Unlike when you buy it directly from the owners, you see that you have to pay for the documentation, but the company covers all of this cost. Now that was why I said in the beginning that I am not vouching for every company, but most of the companies that I consult for, they ensure to chart their lands before they even purchase these properties. Because one, we are not talking about now. These investments are long-term investments. So we are not talking about now. We're looking at the future. We're looking at 10 years to come. Is this property going to be within the government interest? Is the property going to be within a place where the government will be like, I did not relinquish this particular property. This is still government property. So we do not want cases like that to happen, and this is why we chart land. So now this brings me to that question. Before you purchase your property, even from an individual, if those lands have not been charted, even if it doesn't carry a seal of O, please try to chart the land. You can go the extra mile and pay for the land to be charted even before you do a seal of O on that land. Because some people, I can also advise that, okay, if the land does not come with the seal of O, you can proceed to ensure that you do the seal of O personally for the land. But even before that, you need to chart the land. Yes, you need to ensure that the land has been charted. Then when you are done with your land charting, you can now go ahead to do the COO personally. Because most of these companies don't cover the cost for certificate of ownership. They just transfer ownership to you. So now for you to now get the certificate of ownership, you can go ahead to process that for your land to further secure your land. But fine and good, if you see a property that already has a certificate of ownership, fine, you can go ahead and purchase the property. But still, I will advise that you do your due diligence. These include land charting the land. I will repeat this again, land charting. This will let you know if that property is within government interest, if that property is still government owned. These are some of the things that you ought to do before investing in any property. But as I said before, most companies already go through that process for you. Most of the companies that I consult for, I cannot vouch for every company here in real estate. And thank you so much for joining us on this episode. I believe that we have been able to answer that question. I'm Beatrice. But if you have any other question, please do leave them for us in the comments. Like I said before, you can always reach us on WhatsApp. Yes, you can always drop your questions on WhatsApp in case you do not want to drop your questions publicly. We will definitely address them. Once again, thank you all so much and have an amazing day.